And we're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Live with Mama Tribe.
Live with Mama Tribe.
Okay,
Sorry, I just have to feel like I have to do that dance every time.
coffee call. Let's see, coffee check-in. Who got it?
Water again with MJ.
I actually have tea this morning. Yeah, except the bag broke when I was doing my that's not okay. Thank you, buddy. When I was making my tea, it was such a bummer.
You had a busted tea bag?
Yeah.
That sounds atrocious.
Sorry that I laughed. I definitely have a sick mind. So, yeah, we're a little late this morning, but we're so worth the wait, don't you think?
Absolutely.
We have with us Miss Catie Griffith. Hello. And also for those of you that don't know, the Pretty Mama, both of the Pretty Mamas are in pink, but MJ is right there, Miss Mary Jane Fisher, my cohort in crime.
Hello. Oh, God, I look horrible on Google this morning. Usually Google makes me look great.
I know, I did not do hair or anything this morning, so.
Yeah, I got dressed.
Yeah, exactly. Get some food in the kids, and
you're ahead of us already on that one. But I'm OG Mamacita, Erin Estevez, and like I said, this is Live with Mama Tribe. This is our Thursday morning kind of check-in with our mamas and see how everyone is going and doing, surviving, hanging on, all that fun stuff. So this morning, just an FYI, my little one is still asleep because we had a very rough night last night. He's not feeling well, and MJ and I went to the new Children's Museum at the beginning of the week, and I think that it may have had some new children's germs.
oh no.
I think so, too.
Because both kids are a little... They had
Yep, mine started with a runny nose yesterday, and then it turned into a stuffy nose, and then last night was a long line as well. So.
Yeah, so hallelujah for Mama friends.
Are your kids healthy, Katie?
We've had a rough couple weeks. They seem healthy. They just not feeling the sleep thing, and maybe allergies, something going on, a little stuffy, but healthy enough to be wide awake and ready to go. So nothing's holding them down.
You posted the cutest pictures of Willa the other day with her little virgin margarita. Oh my God.
Yes, we were visiting their great-grandparents, and they were having too much fun being spoiled with their little drinks.
Oh my God, it was just like to die for cute. I'm serious. That photo needs to be framed and hung up.
She was so happy. She was too funny with that.
Yeah, she was adorable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so this morning we're going to be talking with, as you have seen, Miss Catie Griffith, our crunchy coast-to-coast mama. She is part of our local Mama Tribe, but she is moving to the other side of the country in the next couple of weeks. So, the life of a military wife. So Katie is going to talk to us about what that means. Well, not the life of a military wife, but what that means to move from one side of the country to the other with 2 kids, a mastiff, right? You guys have a mastiff?
We have 2 dogs. We have an English mastiff, and we have a little Chihuahua Terrier mix.
Okay, so a Max and a Mini.
Yes, a giant one and a teeny tiny one.
2 kids, 2 dogs, and a husband across country. So I'm really excited to see that, and the feedback from the moms has been great because everybody wants to know how Katie's going to do it. She's so organized.
Exactly, and that's what we all knew. We were like, okay, you have always been like one of these mamas that like can get a million things things done. And I know that you probably think that you don't, but it's like, holy crap, how did she make this? Like you Instagram these beautiful pictures of your breakfast, and then you've got like, you're telling us that you're going to this play date and you're, doing this, and it's like, and then you're dropping off food for people. Like, I'm just like, Jesus, you're like a saint.
I mean, look, she has makeup on. Do you have makeup on?
I have makeup on.
You see.
And makeup and allergies outside don't mix.
No.
Okay, I have not worn makeup. I've worn makeup maybe like a handful of times since I've had my son and he's 4.
Makeup is necessary when I haven't slept in like 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, but you see, actually being able to get that 5 to 7 minutes it takes to...
Well, and that's the thing too. That's self-care,
It
so
is.
you're.
It
I mean,
is.
you make yourself feel good. Yeah. But for me, I forget that it's on, and I make myself look like shit. So.
Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. Is my eyes are like itching, and I'm like trying not to have black circles around my eyes. And
Hey, it's called the Smoky Eye. Okay.
It is.
The Smoky Eye. And
perfect.
It's like we all.
And since I have to wear, crunchy natural makeup because I'm allergic to a lot of products. It's not, waterproof or lasts. So you're even more likely to have a smoky eye. So, because there aren't any chemicals to hold it in place.
I know. You're like, I could eat it. It's just.
I could eat it.
It's just gonna run from your eyes straight down into your mouth.
Exactly.
I hope it's flavored lovely. Yes. Well, thank you so much for doing this and joining us this morning. And I know that it can be very hectic. So thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Happy to do it.
And you know what? I know we have a couple of viewers right now watching us. So if you have any comments or questions, I have the Q&A up, and I'll check it sporadically. But we are live, and if you're watching us live, which I see a few people, then let us know. I gave the link to Europe this morning, my best friend in Belgium, so maybe it's him who's watching me. All right. So are we starting?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in.
So we got some suggestions from Mama Suzanne Reese about kind of giving you guys a little breakdown of where we're at talking about stuff. So we're going to try this out by changing our lower thirds. So we're talking about Katie's coast-to-coast move, and she's going to give us all these awesome tips. And so one of the first things that she wants to talk about is introducing the kids to the location of where you're moving. And oh my gosh, the rundown that you gave was so cool. So I can't wait for you to share all these tips. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were lucky enough last summer to fly out to D.C., and then we did a drive up to Rhode Island where my husband was in school. So the kids had seen our new town that we would be moving to, but we didn't know we were moving there at the time. So my husband had bought a book for the kids while he was there. We had a book to read about Rhode Island, and they remember going to the beach and riding on the carousel and having clam chowder and all of that fun stuff. So about a month and a half or 2 months ago, when we found out we were heading to Newport, Rhode Island, we dug out the book about Rhode Island for the kids. We started reading about it. We showed them pictures of when we visited last summer, of them on the beach and riding that carousel and all the fun we had. And we told them that this will be where your new home is. So we started looking at houses online and talking to friends in the area, and when we were able to find a house and secure it, thanks to my mama tribe all over the country, I had a friend who went and did a walkthrough and met the owner of the house and got everything set up for me, which is amazing.
That's awesome.
And that's where having these mama tribes come into place.
Yes.
So it was wonderful that I could reach out to a friend who lives in Rhode Island currently, a fellow military spouse, and find us a house. So once we had the house, we have the wonder of technology that I could pull up on Google Maps, a picture of our house, and we could go for a little walk around the block. So kids and I looked at the house. We talked about the color of the house, the yard, and where they would be able to play. Right next door, we have an awesome brand new playground facility, literally directly next door. So we showed them the play structure and the fields. We talked about how it would snow there, and just kind of browsed around the neighborhood. Showed them we would be living near some historic mansions that we talked about will be decorated for the holidays.
Cool.
The water, the cliff walk, the beach, just kind of a virtual tour, which was really fun for them. And
so your husband has lived there, you said?
He was there for school last year, just temporarily, about 6 weeks.
Okay,
So,
and then I'm just, as far as the military goes, did you guys, they just told you this is where you're moving, or did you actually have like a choice? Or
well, what they do is it's based, number one, on needs of the Navy, so it's whatever they need. He is coming up on something called a shore tour, which means it'll be a time that he isn't on a ship, he isn't deployable, he'll have time home. So with those jobs, they usually have instructor positions or office positions, recruiter positions, stuff like that, where that you are on the shore, you're not out to sea. So when that came up, then came out a list of available slots for him, and these included jobs that are available and locations. So what we did is we sat down and we needed to make a list of our top 20 from the list that they gave us, and
Gotcha.
we went with jobs that would be good for him, good experience for his career, and then we also had to look at where we wanted to live. So we're really torn. We have family on the East Coast. We're from the D.C. area. So when there was an opportunity to go to Annapolis, where he had gone to college, that jumped out to us. And so we thought, how fun would it be to have a couple years back near family and be back where he went to school. So that was the only East Coast one that really crossed our mind. Other than that, we very heavily listed San Diego.
Yeah, I bet.
So, and at the very bottom of our list, we filled in a spot for Rhode Island, not expecting that they would get down to number 20 on our list.
Oh my gosh.
But that's where he is needed, and that's where the fit is, and it's not a bad place to go. It's a beautiful little island, and we will take on the weather change and go back to dealing with shoveling snow.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh. So I've learned, I did some civilian personnel work for the military, and I learned that when you get those slots to fill in,
Yes.
you don't put in your last resort. You just keep putting in
Yes,
the one
absolutely.
that you want. Yeah, because I did that, and I ended up in Texas.
Yeah, we did not, and we never do put anywhere that we wouldn't want to move.
Yes.
So even though Rhode Island was the bottom of our 20, we left a few places off completely. We were not ready to go to certain parts of the country or the world at this point, so we did not include them at all on our list. Rhode Island is still in our top 20.
That's so cool.
That's crazy that you had 20 choices, though.
Oh,
And-
absolutely. Yeah. Well, it wasn't 20 locations. I mean, we had it was about 15 different positions in San Diego, Coronado. So a lot of those slots were filled with the same location. Just
gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah, as far as location-wise, I think we had 4 or 5 places on the list.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, I gotta give props to military families and military moms. I mean, like, seriously, I know that the men are the ones that are, doing the work, quote unquote. Yeah, the service, exactly. And thank you to your husband for keeping us safe. But man, it's when I hear everything that moms have to do to keep everything going, it's just like you guys. I think it's 50-50, honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they say behind every great man is a great woman. So,
Okay.
it's like he cannot do his job unless he's taken care of to a certain extent. So,
exactly.
Because they need to be able to focus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So talk to us about these first steps.
Yeah, well, the next point, actually, I have in my lower third here, which we know Miss Katie is awesome at.
Oh, not really.
Aw.
You're better than us. Let's put it that way.
Well, I have definitely a knack for purging, organizing, and maybe pre-packing. I think your pre-packing is a little different because like you said, the military packs you, which, I mean, for some people
Fabulous.
might be awesome. For other people, for me, I would be like, I want to be like in control. But tell us about that.
That's absolutely what it is. So they will send us packers and movers. So the only thing we will be in charge of moving ourselves are our family, our cars, and enough stuff to last us for about a month. Because the travel from end to end until we're settled is going to be about a month. So we will need to have some stuff with us in the car. They consider this a partial Diddy move, which is a partial do-it-yourself, where they will be moving the bulk of our stuff, but we will have 2 cars full. So also with this PCS move with the military, there are horror stories of the damage and the loss and
I had a friend who moved from San Diego to DC, and when they opened up the boxes, the packers had packed the neighbor's trash.
Yeah.
What?
That's pretty, it's not that uncommon, unfortunately. If you have a trash can and it's ready and they're packing your kitchen, whether it's full or empty, they're taking it. So, so that's... So
MJ's nightmare.
Oh my gosh.
That's why we pre-pack and we supervise these moves. So the first step is getting rid of stuff. We move every 2 to 5 years, and there is just stuff that we don't need. There are no babies in our immediate future or possible future, so I'm not moving baby stuff. It's sad. It's hard to make that emotional break.
I bet, yeah.
But my emotions need to not be attached to items. Right. And we have the memories and we have the pictures. So each kid has a memory bin of stuff that is valuable to me, the outfits they came home from in the hospital, and little things, little loveys or blankets and stuff that I don't want to ever get rid of, a couple outfits. But each kid only needs 1 bin of stuff. We don't need to have... We don't need to have bags and bags and bags of baby clothes. There are mamas and families that can use those. So high chairs, pack and plays, toys, all of that, that's stuff that I need to get rid of. So I've reached out to my mama tribe. I've reached out to local moms in the area. I took some stuff to the Lindsay School for those mamas, and we just worked on especially purging kid stuff, because that stuff multiplies.
Oh my God, totally. I love the memory bin idea.
Yeah, so 1 bin per kid, and actually my husband and I each have a memory bin. My husband has maybe 2 or 3 bins, but we're working on that. He was very involved in sports and has awards from the military, so he's collected a lot more stuff. So for organizing, we really work on keeping pieces together. So if it's a puzzle, we're going to store all those pieces in a bag. It's not the crunchiest mama tip ever, but some Ziploc bags or some sealable bags, you can keep all those pieces together. So we have a bag of cars and a bag of little action figures and a bag of puzzle pieces, stackable blocks. Those things can get lost really easily in a move. So we're going to put them in a bag together. So I had my bag, when I was looking for my earbuds, I had my bag of wires, computer wires.
Yeah.
Stuff that easily can get misplaced in a move. We just organize it. Another tip I received from a mama is to put all your silverware and stuff in zip bags, and that way you don't lose the spoon, and also you don't have all the packer's hands all over your silverware.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, what? I missed that last part.
Just packing silverware in a plastic bag, so that way when they go in to pack your kitchen, they don't have their hands all over your stuff, and they also don't misplace, a single spoon or something. So even though you're going to wash the stuff on the other end, it's better to not have everyone's hands on it if they have to pack and repack. We had our boxes when they had to pack the truck. Stuff didn't fit properly, so with one of our moves, they had to dump and repack our boxes. Without our supervision, we weren't there.
Yeah.
So we got our boxes to unpack, and we're like, wait, this isn't how they packed it when they left our house. And
oh my gosh.
They explained they had to condense to make some space, so it was repacked.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta give you props, because that would drive me fucking crazy.
And that's hard with the control, and that's why I pre-pack, because it does. I wash everything, linens, towels, and I stack them all in the closet so that I know they're just going from closet to box. I want to have it all ready to go. So
that kind of brings us to the next point too, of having the kids help pack. So
absolutely,
you get them involved, and I guess that helps for a lot of different ways.
It's stressful for them to see us. Yeah, it's stressful for them to see us packing our house. All their toys, they don't know where it's going. They don't necessarily understand that. So about a month ago, we went through and started bagging up some toys, and putting away toys that they didn't use anymore, and they got to help pick those toys. They also each got a small toy bin where they could put, my son calls it his collection. So he picked his collection, his pile of his favorite things, and those are going with us. Those are going in the car. Those will go to the hotel. Those will go on our entire adventure with us. Yesterday we put them in his backpack so that he would know that they were ready to go. Because our movers come very soon, so it was time to pack those up, but they are not going on the moving truck. So we told him that, these are the ones that are coming with you, these are the ones that will meet you at your new house, and they'll be there for you when you get there. And then the same with clothes. They got to pick their favorite t-shirts, their favorite PJs, their favorite shoes. So they got to kind of pick a few of their favorite things and help us pack our suitcases of stuff that we will need for the next month. And then just explaining that we'll have a big truck coming, they'll get to see it packed up. But it really helps with the emotions that their favorite comfort items, their favorite things to play with, they're not going to be without for a month. We wouldn't take those away.
Yeah. And probably too, our kids are going to bring up, like, what what is packed maybe on the truck, but having them be involved, then they'll remember, yes, we put that on the truck, and then we kept our special stuff. So having them involved is like, instead of trying to deal with, what might happen if they weren't involved.
Absolutely. And my son is almost 4, and he's actually old enough now to really help with the sorting. So he knows how to sort things. So, go through this bin. We need to separate the cars, the people, the dress up, whatever it is, so that we have it organized for our move. I gave him a plastic bag, and he got to fill it up with his Ninja Turtles that we'll be sending on the truck, or things like that were helpful to me. And it was a task I didn't have to do, and he got to really help and be involved with the move. So.
Well, also I think it instills a bit of responsibility, and it gives them a sense of control. In something that they, kids have very little control to begin with. So
absolutely.
In something as big as a move, where they're just kind of like picked up and swept away, at least this way they know that they have some control over their immediate environment. So I think that's really cool. Yeah. And important, because as a kid, we moved around a lot, and we never got that. We never got that. We just got, oh, hey, we're moving. What?
Yep. I also didn't have that much of a choice, because I don't know really how to keep them out of the way while I'm packing. So.
Don't accidentally pack the kids.
Yeah, finding a way for them to help also saved my sanity. So stop unpacking boxes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Pack one thing, they unpack it, but.
I know, Erin, we split up the little lower thirds here, so you have the rest of them. I'll let you take over from here. Oh.
I was muted.
You were muted.
So the next thing we have on your list of tips is the hotel prep. So tell us about that.
Well, like I mentioned, we are traveling with 2 dogs. We have a teeny tiny dog that I got when I was in college, and he's the little old man, and he's 6 pounds, and he can really stay anywhere with us. He's easygoing. He has a little bit of an old man, grumpy man attitude, Chihuahua in him. But for the most part, taking a 6-pound dog and traveling isn't hard. Our other dog is a 160-pound English Mastiff.
Oh my God, that's a freaking horse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's like a mini horse. He's fabulous, and he is the sweetest pup, easygoing and quiet and calm and lazy, and would want nothing more than to just lay on the floor and have his belly rubbed all day. So really, in our minds, traveling with him is easy. He's great in the car. Yeah. He's great when we stay at people's houses. He's fabulous around kids. The problem is a hotel.
Yeah.
Many hotels have breed restrictions, and many hotels have weight restrictions. So, finding a hotel that will say no to our 160-pound English Mastiff isn't the easiest, especially when we need to plan out a 15-day travel. We are lucky enough to have found some fabulous friends and family to stay with along the way, who will welcome us and our pup.
Yay.
And then also, in addition to that, La Quinta Inns are pet friendly. They have no breed restrictions, they have no weight restrictions, and they charge no pet fees.
Nice.
Shout out to La Quinta.
Yeah, huge help. The inns and suites are also really nice. Many of them have pools, microwaves, refrigerators, and breakfast in the morning. So
Sweet.
It really works out, because finding a hotel with a pool is really, really awesome. After 8 hours in the car when we get to a hotel, our kids are going to need to burn some energy. And they are water babies, and they love to swim. So if we can find a hotel that has a pool, our kids can burn some energy after having to be in their car seats for a while. So that was another thing when we were looking at hotels that was important. Also, while we're driving across the country, we want to see a lot of the beautiful sights. So location. If we're gonna stop in Nashville, let's stay near the Grand Ole Opry. If we're gonna, stop we're going to take one stop to stop near the Grand Canyon. So let's see some of these sites. So we have some fun stops planned, and we have some great accommodations booked where our dogs are welcome and they can hang out in the air conditioning while we go and sightsee.
So cool. So cool.
Now, do you get like a little bit of money to be able to do that? Oh, cool. Okay.
We do, yep. So you can put in for a dislocation allowance. And if you do the paperwork in time, the ideal is they have that to you ahead of time. Sometimes the paperwork or the money doesn't come through in time and they reimburse you at the end. But there is a per diem allotment for food and hotel and gas money and stuff like that. So like I mentioned, the partial Diddy move, they will reimburse us for the weight of the stuff that we have to move, except for our cars. They don't pay for you to move your car. But the luggage that we have to take, we will go to a weigh station and weigh our cars empty and weigh our cars full, and the difference of the weight, They do. They take care of us and make sure that it's not costing us out of pocket to get there.
That's so cool.
Sweet, good.
Yeah.
Once you figure out where you're going to stay, particularly for a crunchy mama,
absolutely,
someone with food allergies, how the
say it. Just say it.
What do you need? How? I mean, I know that when I was traveling, our options as just a Main Street here are very limited.
Absolutely. So, you know, it would be drive-thrus and Starbucks and that free continental breakfast.
Yep. Yep.
But since we do have food restrictions, we will be packing a good amount of food with us. So we will be taking a crate of food, and we will be taking a cooler with us. And like I mentioned, we have friends and family where we will be stopping, and that's where we will restock our fresh groceries. So we have initially, before we get to a friend's house, we have 4 days on the road. So things like carrot sticks and apples, they're good for 4 days in a cooler.
Yeah.
And finding a hotel that has a refrigerator, so it will only be in the cooler for while we're in the car.
Right.
So that was a big thing of having a refrigerator in the room where we can store some avocados. Avocados don't have to be refrigerated, so I can put a bag of avocados in the car, and my kids love avocados. So we also have the Easy Squeeze pouches. Those are super convenient. Granola bars, some homemade breakfast cookies, and then just our basics of coffee. I got a drip system where it's a pour over drip. So all I need is hot water. I will be traveling with my San Diego locally roasted coffee and my drip system. So I can make coffee without having to find a drive-through. I'm taking some powdered coconut milk with me, and so that's what I'll toss in my coffee, and that's what I like in my coffee. So it's easy.
Nice.
Powdered coconut milk has been fabulous for the kids and for myself. So the food thing, we've found some wonderful brown rice and quinoa packets at our little local Costco. So microwaving isn't my favorite, but microwaving is better than a fast food drive-through.
Yeah, totally.
So being able to have things like that we can have some veggies, we can have some rice and quinoa, hard-boiled eggs. And
the hard-boiled eggs, you can also pick those up at the continental breakfast.
Absolutely, and we figured that they will have some fresh fruit.
Yep.
They will probably have eggs, so as long as it's real eggs and not powdered from a container egg.
And it's funny too because it's hilarious to me when you get eggs from a container and then all the stuff that's in it. It's like, dude, it's eggs.
It's eggs. Yeah. So we will check those things. The big one we have to avoid is gluten for our son. So my husband can enjoy his continental waffles, but my son and I, and really we try to keep Willow away from it as well. We can't. We do not want to have a food reaction during a cross-country move. So it's a lot of it is preference, and a lot of it is necessity. It will be really hard to travel with a child who breaks out in eczema and has digestive issues in the car. So 15 days on the road with kids and bathroom stuff would be hard enough. I really, really don't want to take on the digestive issues of a food reaction.
No, those extra stops.
Yeah, really, really hard. It'll be hard on him. The muscle pain he gets and stuff, sitting in a car would not be fun. So we're going to be, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to try to push it and eat anything that we don't really travel with. Again, we are really lucky to have fabulous friends that we're staying with who are aware of his reactions. And, my uncle, who we're stopping to see in Texas, said, send me a list. Let me know what he can have so I can have it in the house for him.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so really awesome.
You know, when you were mentioning Costco too, I got to give a little shout out. I just went yesterday, and because some kids are already in back to school or back to school is coming, like all their pouches and all of their kind of kids items are like, you know, $3 off or something right now. So.
It's really rad. They have the fruit strips, and they're usually pretty expensive, and they're $3 off. We have our big birthday and going away party coming up this weekend, and so fruit strips and a piñata were perfect.
Ooh, yeah.
Again, when you have food restrictions, piñatas can be scary at parties of what's coming out of that my kids going to react to. So,
totally.
Being able to find stuff, and I saw them at Costco yesterday also, and I'm like, yes, this is perfect. So,
so those are one of those things that are going in the car.
They are going in the car.
Yeah, and what else are you taking in the car other than your bag of avocados?
My bag of avocados, and my quinoa.
Are you going to throw avocados at people?
I will. I absolutely will. Yeah.
Just the bits. Do not waste
I'll just
that glorious.
them. I won't throw them. In the car, we will take things that can't be replaced. Baby pictures of my husband and myself. So we were born when it wasn't the digital era. Yeah. So for my kids, we have everything saved online. For my husband and I, we've worked hard to kind of scan everything in, but that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of stuff, our baby books, that we haven't scanned into the computer, and that would be really sad to lose in a move. So that's the stuff that'll go in our car. Our hospital bracelets from when we had the kids, stuff like that, that's keepsake. Not necessarily every single keepsake, their first baby outfit and stuff like that, that I do have emotional ties to. My world wouldn't end if it got lost, so it goes on the moving truck, you know. But those hospital bracelets are small enough that that's meaningful to me, that I will bring those in a bin in the car with me. Yeah. Obviously, our valuables, our jewelry, our computer. We have laptops, so we don't have a desktop. We would send a desktop with the movers, but since we have our laptops, they're small enough they can come with us.
So if you have these valuables in your car, I mean, what about at night when you leave at the hotel? I mean, you've left. Do you unload?
We unload. We unload into the hotel.
Wow.
So we pack crate, like Rubbermaid or Tupperware or whatever plastic bins, and we will have probably 5 of them total. My husband drives a truck, so we can put them in the bed of the truck. Seal them up, and they're plastic so that they're rainproof if we hit a storm. The picture one will go inside a car. Anything with clothes will go inside the car. But everything else we can put in the bed of his truck, and we simply put it onto a luggage cart when we get to the hotel. We roll them in. They stay on the luggage cart because we don't need anything out of them. And we roll it back out to the cart the next day and load it back on.
Gotcha.
So,
nice. That doesn't seem too bad.
It's not too bad because we really don't have that many. We pare down to, you know, a food crate. We take a cleaning supply crate because the packers will not take liquids, especially cleaning supplies, combustibles, or anything open that could spill, because you don't want an open bottle of cleaning supplies to spill in the truck while you move. That's your stuff in there. So any of the cleaning supplies we're going to use to do our final wipe down before we move out, and then we also will need it the first day we arrive at the new house, because no matter how clean it is, you probably want to wipe it down again. So we'll take a small bin of our basic cleaning supplies, and then we'll have a food bin, we'll have a keepsake bin, and then we'll have our clothes. So and the kids will each have a backpack of toys and some books, and that'll be about it. So,
and your sanity. Don't forget to pack that.
It will be packed. It'll probably get packed. I don't think it'll be with me. It'll be in the bin somewhere. It'll be in the back of the truck somewhere.
Yeah, maybe with some of your friends that you're visiting, they'll let you guys have a little time together, you and your husband, so you can just
We will. We'll have 2 days with family in Texas, and I have a huge family. So I have my 4 cousins. I have 2 uncles and 2 aunts, and my cousin's baby, who one just had a baby. She just announced. So I just saw the update. So there is a brand new baby that I get to visit.
So you get to squish and sit.
I get to snuggle a baby. So of course I'll be taking, my baby carriers and a ring sling.
Yeah. Those are kind of invaluable.
Absolutely. So we will be taking our 2 toddler carriers for sure, because the Grand Canyon with 2 kids kind of scares me. So we will let them do some hiking and exploring, and then I think throwing them up on our backs might be a good idea for some part.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, just tie the kid to you. That's the best idea.
Yeah. So that'll be some items in the car for sure.
And then once you get there, you finally made it across. You finally unpacked. You finally had a moment to decompress. What's next? What do you do? How do you start a whole new life, a whole new tribe?
A lot of that has started already. So as soon as we found out we were going there, the first thing I did is I reached back to some of the awesome friends that I've made in this lifestyle over the past 10 years. So we have friends that we've met along the way, whether it's with a move or from my husband went to the Naval Academy, so from school, from the Naval Academy, from his football family. We reached back to all those connections. When I was in college and when he was in school, there was a lovely message board of Naval Academy girlfriends. Well,
cool.
A lot of those girlfriends have become wives and mamas, and we all still keep in touch. So then there was also the football family that when he played football that I hung out with at practices and at games, and these are people that I saw every week. So I reach out to them across the country. And so those connections helped put me in contact with a couple moms who are living in Rhode Island. And a couple moms here who have previously been living there. So I was able to get information on schools. Schools for our kids, we are kind of particular. We really need to find something that's a good fit. It's really hard for us to leave the school we found here in San Diego, where we had a fabulous experience with the teacher and with the community and the families, the structure, the curriculum. It was all exactly what we wanted. So I kind of reached out and I said, okay, here's what I'm looking for. What can you tell me? And I found that school, and I found the perfect place for them. Unfortunately, it is so perfect there is a wait list.
Of course.
But we are already on that wait list, even though we haven't even moved yet. We were able to get on that wait list and find out about that school because of the connections we have. Like I said, I reached out to the connections that I have there to find a house. So these are the mamas that I already have a bit of a connection to. I did a search on Meetup to find natural minded mamas.
Sweet.
And I found a group, and they were super welcoming, and they do play dates, and they do unschooling events, and they have homeschooling information, and really active group. And then, of course, Facebook. So a friend of mine put me in contact with a friend of hers who blogs about her. She doesn't label it as crunchy, but her more natural lifestyle. She lives where we are moving. So I followed her blog, and I connected with her on Facebook, and we've been chatting. And she has set up a playgroup for moms in the area. And she posts about, local farmers markets. And she really helped me with where I could find groceries. That's a hard thing when you're moving. This is where I'm used to shopping. Where am I going to be able to find these items when I move? Are these items available in your area? Am I going to have to do a lot of shopping online and have switched? So just those questions that seem crazy to a lot of people. Finding a like-minded mama who could, calm me down and say, look, here are the places you can shop. There's actually a store walking distance to your house.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You just have to, you're building a new mama tribe. You're not going to forget about us because we won't let you.
No. And that's the thing. Watering those roots that you've already planted and helping and staying connected to those people that I've met in previous places, it's what helps me build anew. So these, friendships that I build here are never friendships that I could replace or that I would get rid of or, anything like that. Like, these are friendships in my tribe that I still want to be involved with and still nurture and hopefully will be able to come back to.
Yeah. Awesome. And you know what? Just speaking of your friend, you were talking about a blog of somebody that you knew, but you are starting your own blog.
I am.
If you're watching us on Google, you're watching us live, you'll be able to see it on the sidebar on the right side. It's the Showcase app. We have the link to the blog and then also the Facebook page. So if you want to tell us a little bit more about that, and then definitely you guys check that out.
Sure. Hey, Rye, she can come out. Sorry.
No.
I have a baby fussing at me.
Yeah, totally.
Hang on one second.
No worries. Yeah, just if you guys want to check it out, it'll link right to the blog. We have that. It's called Crunchy Coast to Coast, and then Katie set up within everything else that she's friggin' doing. My God, I don't even know how the hell she did all this, but she set up her Facebook page and her blog. So we have it here, and then of course we'll on the show notes we'll kind of list these points that she's talked about, and then also list the links to the Facebook page and the blog.
And hopefully
you guys can follow her too.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have time to jump on and I have a blog ready to go about some of these tips. And so I've been wanting to blog for a while, and I love sharing stuff. Living away from family and friends, the internet makes it easy for us to stay connected. So I know my mom and my mother-in-law and our grandparents, they have all figured it out so they can get on social media and see the kids and see us and keep track of what we're doing. It's hard to sit down and have a phone call and Skype and all of that, which we would love to be able to do with family every day, but it's just not reality when we have a time difference and we are on the go. We are active. We stay kind of busy. So
well, and I mean, I'm sorry, but I cannot get on the friggin' phone without my child needing me, or just that repetitive mama, 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 mama. And I'm like, now do you see, like, I almost want to do this so that the people who say I don't call them, do you understand why I don't call you and I text you?
I know. So I have been relying a lot on, oversharing on social media to keep family and friends in the loop. So everyone has said, why not blog? Why not blog? Well, there really hasn't been time, and I haven't committed, and so it's a work in progress. It's roughly up there as a blog, and I will update and fix and mess with it as I find some time. But we figured that this move was a good chance to kind of go ahead and jump in.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
kind of keep that journal. So I will be posting recaps as we move. Just as far as security goes, I won't post where we are when we're there.
Yeah.
But I'll recap. So once we get to our next location, I'll be able to share what we did where we were previously. So
that's good. That's safe. I like that.
Yeah. So we won't let you know necessarily where we are, but you'll get to find out once we finish that part of our adventure. So.
Yeah, I like that. Yay! Oh my gosh, so much information, awesome tips,
tons of stuff to.
Yeah.
So like MJ said, we'll have those tips up, and everybody can follow Katie on her coast to coast adventure.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Crazy fun, I'm sure. Crazy fun.
Being prepared has got to be like just a little less stress, though. Not that it's totally stress less, but
every little check in the box, you know, finding a house, finding a school, planning our stops, making sure we have hotel or housing available at every stop we go. All those things really make it a little less stressful.
Absolutely.
We have a destination every time we get on the road. We know that our trip in the car is ideally less than 12 hours each day. That's taking traffic into account. We plan for road time to be 4 to 8 hours a day, but we have to take into account that we have 2 children who need potty breaks, and we need to eat, and we need to walk the dogs, and we might have traffic.
You know, I just remembered there is an app. I wish I could remember the name, but it's specifically for finding potty breaks on the road.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect. Yes, we will. I have a couple apps that actually have the road signs of exactly what exit has what. So it lists food, hotel, restrooms, all of that. We will also be traveling with a potty. That is a travel necessity. So we travel with a potty on our day-to-day errands, and so a road trip, we will definitely have a travel potty for our kiddos, especially Willa, who potty trained herself a few months ago, and you know, she's pretty accurate, but trusting an almost 2-year-old in the car for 15 days. It's a little nerve-wracking. So.
I remember when I was little, and we used to do the cross country quite often because my grandparents lived in Florida and we lived here in San Diego. So we would do that regularly. And I have very clear memories of that, like cast iron chamber pot.
Yes.
Like so 1850. So 1850. But yeah.
What potty are you using, Katie?
We are taking an IKEA potty with us.
Okay.
Because it has a high enough front for a boy, which helps. And so a plastic grocery bag layered in it with a layer of napkins or paper towels, and you can just tie it up and toss it in the trash can. So,
oh my gosh, there's another tip.
I know that they have specially made little potettes that have bags that are built into it.
Yeah.
The IKEA potty has a higher front, so that has been easier for a boy. And it's cheaper. I can recycle my plastic grocery bags and use them for my kid potty.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Just, poop bags for the dog.
Exactly. Well, we will have bags in the car for the dogs and for the kids. So,
awesome.
So those plastic bags, I usually take my reusable bags, but our past couple grocery trip, I realized we will need plastic bags for the car. So pick them up at the grocery store and I can reuse them. So
very good.
Yeah, before they're like gone too. They're not going to use them anymore.
I know. So newspaper bags are also good for dogs on walks. So any kind of bag I can kind of collect for our road trip. So
love it. That's awesome.
You know, before we switch over, I just want to say a couple of tips that my dad would do when we would do these cross-country trips.
I love tips.
Is that he would actually drive at night when we were sleeping, and then we would get to the hotel, and he would make the pre-arrangements with the hotel so that we could arrive early, and then we would play in the pool while he would sleep during the day.
There you go.
We would hang out at the hotel or go sightsee or something like that, and then have dinner and get into our PJs and then climb in. We had a VW bus back then. Climb into the bus and go to sleep, and he would just drive at night. So that was one of his favorite tips, and Matt and I use it when we travel to see his parents who live up in more north in California, so we just drive at night with the kid because he's in the car because he can't keep himself.
Hey, Miss Willa.
Hi. Hi, Willa.
She's like, you took my mommy from me for like an hour. What the heck?
She needed some mama time.
Okay, we will just jump off, and before we do that, I want to mention that we have our Mama Tribe Network After Dark series, and that is tomorrow night with MJ's All Things Crunchy. We're going to have Dr. Philip Gochensky with us, and he's going to tell us what gluten is.
Yeah.
Yay, that's perfect for us.
Right? So
I need it. A bunch of other people, like, you know, I think I have a handle on it, but I just, man, I really want to know exactly, like, what it is, and we're going to get into, like, you know, sensitivities, allergies, and then the disease, celiac disease, you know, so, and Dr. G's, I love him. He's just, oh my gosh, he's like, just one of those people that I just want to soak up all the information. I always tell him, you know, like I want to make sure I can get as much information up from him that I can. And every time we're always blown away with the information that he gives us.
He's amazing, and he's such an emotional man. You know, he really, everything he says, you can tell that it comes from the heart. And he is very sincere. So that is this Friday night, and you can watch it through the Mama Tribe Network After Dark series on our Google Plus page and also on YouTube.
Yep. Tomorrow night.
Yep, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And in case you missed any of our past shows, you can also catch those on either our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. So be sure and check some of those out, because we've had Dr. G on All Things Crunchy several times, and he's had some amazing information for us. And yeah, that's what we've got going on, and so glad you mamas could join us today.
Yeah.
Looking forward to spending more time with you guys in the flat world, as I call it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Bye, Willa.
Bye.
We'll all get back to our day today, and we'll see you guys next week for Live with Mama Tribe, and maybe you'll check us out tomorrow night.
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, and rock this day like no other.
All right, I'm going to stop the broadcast, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.